And good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. I'm meteorologist Mike Javer. And guess what? More showers are possible in today's forecast as some weak atmospheric waves move through. I'll get to that in a second. Just kind of move through the area and could trigger off a couple showers and storms. However, I am expecting this to remain isolated throughout the day, but temperatures today will be in the mid to upper 80s for most of us, and it will be quite humid as well. So the humidity is sticking around, the storm chances are kind of sticking around, and this will kind of be the theme throughout the weekend as well as we start to progress into it. However, just looking at our satellite this morning, you can kind of see these little ripples in our 500 millibar flow, or it's where most weather happens in the 500 millibar layer, so it's very important to take a look at this, especially on days where precipitation is possible. But these waves are weak. They could trigger off a couple isolated storms this afternoon and evening, but this is going to be the spark for any precipitation, and they are expected to be short-lived today. And here's our radar guess for 8 p.m. tonight, and just a couple isolated showers across the region. Not really expecting much besides a quick downpour or two, but if you are going out tonight, make sure you keep an eye to the radar. Maybe bring an umbrella with you just in case. You don't want to get soaked out there from these little tiny downpours that might be forming off some of these little weak troughs. And now this brings me to Sunday. Saturday doesn't look too bad in terms of precip. Maybe an isolated storm in the afternoon again, but most of the day should be dry, and there's going to be a bunch of those weak waves coming through once again. But however, on Sunday, you can kind of see this large, potent ridge over the central United States. And what happens on the downside of this here is that these ride this ridge here, and they kind of come down. And this is where we're going to have a cold front come through on Sunday. You can kind of see those darker orange colors, and this is a measure of atmospheric spin. Now, and those darker orange colors are basically indicative of some of those storm formations and some of that upper level divergence necessary for storms to form. And we're going to have that lift along the cold front, which will get those storms going, and this will be the best bet for storms on Sunday. So Sunday, a more widespread chance. Saturday, more isolated chance. So that's what we're looking like for the weekend in terms of precipitation. It won't be too terrible, it won't be a washout, but it will be hot and it will be humid. Tomorrow we have temperatures in the mid to upper 80s once again, as the humidity, just as high pressure to the east kind of sets over us and gives us a warm, moist flow from the south. And then as we get into Sunday as well, it's going to be hot again, but you can see those temperatures kind of starting to decline off from the cold front itself, but temperatures for most of us will be in the mid to upper 80s to low 90s in some spots. So we got storms Saturday, which are going to be isolated, storms Sunday, which could be more scattered to widespread. Other than that, it won't be a washout, but we're going to keep an eye on Sunday for any severe threat, especially as that cold front pushes in from the northwest. Thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful weekend. I'm meteorologist Mike Javer.